Hello and welcome to this special program coming to you from the Vellore Institute of Technology, one of the leading engineering colleges in the country, where we are with young India to ask them what kind of India they want to imagine and look at the issues that today concern the young of India. Thank you all very much, first of all, for being here. And I'm going to ask you, what kind of India do you imagine? What's your idea of India?
So I think it has to be a little more corrupt-free and approachable leaders who will, contribute more to the society and more to the youth.
Okay, so a corrupt-free India is what you want. Big ask.
A much more tolerant India. We're not getting triggered at every single meme or minuscule thing which is out in social media, per se.
All of you are too much on social media, so I'm going to come to that in a moment. What's your idea of India?
Equality. I think women should get equal rights and everything, and we need to be equal because women don't really get what...
On campus, you don't have women's equality? Sort of.
Sort
You want more?
Yeah.
You want more, right? Good. Which means that you don't want curfew times like, right? You don't want the curfew times, right?
We do not want the curfew times. It robs us of our opportunities as girls to be to match with the with opportunities that are given to men.
So you want to completely the same rules for men should apply to women, right? Yes.
My idea for an ideal India would be a religion-free India where people aren't divided on religion and faith, so that we can move forward towards development and religion doesn't hamper our growth.
Wow, you and I are on the same track. We don't want a divided India.
I want an India where we don't have to ask this question that what kind of India we want, but we are actually working to develop that India instead of just asking and talking about it.
Wow, well done. Well, he deserves a clap for that. Not bad. You could be a philosopher one day in life.
So my idea of India is not a religion-free India, but an India which incorporates each and every religion in itself, and it should be a tolerant country.
Right.
And it shouldn't be religion-free because religious diversity is the character of a country.
So you wanted a salad bowl where everyone has space for himself or herself. Yes.
So better job opportunities to give everyone a chance to build a life for themselves.
I'm glad that someone used the word job. I was waiting for that word to come. Okay, great. I think you guys have spoken very well on that, but I'm going to now come to some serious issues. The serious issue first is that of NEET, because this has become a major issue in Tamil Nadu and indeed across India. Should there be a common medical exam for the rest of the entire country? So if you have a GST, one country, one tax, should you, for subjects like medicine and possibly even engineering, have only one exam rather than different universities having their own exam? Now you tell me, should there be one exam for the country in NEET or not?
There should be one exam.
One exam. So on one day we decide who gets to go to which college?
Yes, absolutely. Because I've noticed
But in Tamil Nadu, that's become a big issue. People are saying the state boards must be taken into account when you're deciding on whether I can go to medicine or not.
Sir, I've lived in Tamil Nadu for the past 4 years, even before I joined this college, and I had friends who are in state board. And when we were together in CBSE till 10th, I used to there are some of my friends who used to score lesser than me. But once they went to state board, they ended up scoring much higher percentages than me. So I wondered whether was I lacking somewhere or was it the board itself. And then I saw the way these state board students are molded, and it is very, very disappointing to see Tamil Nadu state
So
boards.
you believe that any student anywhere in the country should be able to travel anywhere to study medicine or engineering based on their marks? Am I correct? That's one view. Is there another view? That should there be only one exam?
Much to the addition of that, sir, if you're having one examination, then all the students from various parts of the country should have similar education so that there is no disparity that, okay, this state is teaching this much and this.
But that's not happening at the moment. So if it's not there, do you still have one exam or not?
No, sir, then it puts...
You can't have that. Right now, you can't have one exam.
You can't have. First, you have to moderate the standard. The starting line should be same for all. Then you can have a same end line.
Because you had this tragic story of Anita, the girl who committed suicide because she was against the whole concept of one exam for NEET. Do you agree that Anita had a reason to be so angry with the system? Do you believe there is something wrong with the system?
I think let's be realistic, this whole process is something of elimination, right? Because you have so many people writing the exam, so you need one exam to tell that you were accountable on this day. But I think we are taking the attention away from the fact that the state board is pretty bad in places like Tamil Nadu, and they don't really cater to what these students need to crack these examinations. So as long as state board remains a vote bank where you make people feel good that you have gotten good scores and like you got a 99% score, but you can't get the college, I think that's the problem we have.
So the problem is with the state board system across several state boards in this country, yes?
The longest time we've always been told our 12th marks is our golden ticket to you getting into a university. So people for 2 years slog their way to get your 99.9 percentile. When the government comes and retrospectively pulls out legislation which says that that is not going to be credited and you're going to have another exam in which you're going to be chosen. I think it's extremely unfair to the people in Tamil Nadu who have been working towards getting that 99 percentile, and that's one of the reasons why the Anita committed suicide to begin with.
Okay, can a poor student compete with a wealthier student or not under our present system of NEET or indeed a common engineering exam?
I disagree with the idea that the NEET is meritocratic in of itself. I think the correlation that one exam will determine whether you are a good doctor or an engineer is particularly false. It matters what you did in the university far more than how much you scored. We've seen that syllabus...
You agree with that? Yes. Are these exams, the way that you have to go through them to get into prestigious colleges, merit-driven or not? Yes.
I don't think so, because a lot of people use coaching institutes, and that itself is so not merit-driven because poor people can never access that kind of resource.
Did you all go to coaching institutes? Yes. So, so that's an entire subculture that has been created where everybody goes to a coaching institute today. You didn't. You're an exception. Yes.
So I believe that having this sort of a state board system is actually good in case of Tamil Nadu because they've churned out more people who are willing to go to universities in their standards. They have more exposure because even if the standards of your exams are lower, there are people who say that, oh, this is more accessible to me because I can study this because it's not hard to approach.
Okay, so even if that person gets 99% marks which he may not be deserving.
Yes, sir.
Or she may not be deserving.
So that means that you have an opportunity to go to college where you can actually explore. If you're not
that's one view. Which is the other view? The other view is which is saying very clearly that that doesn't work, right? You want a complete one merit-driven system. Is the other view?
So, I believe NEET incorporates both equality as well as merit because there are separate rankings for people from lower classes. They are not ranked with the people from general class.
Okay, so you believe there is an element of equality, yes?
So
yes.
I refuse to believe that it's a merit-based system to begin with. If they have an issue with state board students rot learning, I think going to a coaching center and writing your NEET exam is a rot learning in a different way. You have 4 options and these coaching institutes drill it into your head how to crack the system but not gain knowledge. There's a difference between cracking an exam and gaining knowledge in that specific sphere. So it's not a merit-based system to deal with. If they have a problem with that, the problem...
But all of you have benefited from that system. All these years, no?
The way you think itself changes when you join a coaching institute, and you cannot call it a merit-based system unless the standard of education in the country has reached such a level that whether you go to a coaching institute or whether you go to a regular state board school, you learn...
So you want a situation where a student studying, let's say in the Northeast, or one studying in Tamil Nadu, or one studying in Kashmir, has the same access to the same education levels, then you can have one exam. Right? That's what those who are against NEET are saying at the moment.
So speaking of equality and merit, we already have a caste-based reservation system. So why not have an economic-based reservation system where the poor get certain number of seats in the colleges so that they are uplifted?
No, but my worry is that if you don't have a NEET-based exam and if every private university, for example, has its own exam, then they will perhaps choose students based on their ability to pay. Aren't you worried about that? Yes.
The system of donation kills the idea of equality. How? I am a student who went in through merit. There's another student who has a rich dad, came in through money, and we are studying side by side, studying the same course and graduating according.
You have a problem with that?
I have a very, very big problem with that.
Okay. You also have a very big problem, I see there, ma'am. You have a big problem with that?
Because we are coming in by merit. We study, we get marks, we get that position. But people who don't study as much or don't put as much hard work but have money because of their parents or whatever it is, they're able to get the same set of opportunities. If we're talking
about... But how does a college survive otherwise without taking these donations? How do you build good infrastructure?
So if the college does not have enough money, he can ask help from the government or the other agencies. But taking money from students and putting them on par with merit students is not a way to equalize matters.
Okay, good. I've heard various views. Yeah, let me get a couple of more. Yes.
I think what's really happening is we're using rich students to subsidize poor meritorious student seats.
So whatever system we adopt, there's still going to be problem because around 7 to 9 lakh students sit for medical exams, out of which 5,000 are selected, and if you remove reservations, it's around 2,500. So that's less than 1% of the students that are selected.
So is that the problem, that there are far too many students and far too few seats in this country? That we need actually many more quality institutes like the one that you have the privilege of going to. You need many more such institutes because there's a huge demand-supply gap in the country. 10 lakh students will appear for 5,000, 10,000 seats. Is that the problem, that there are too many Indians out there? Right? There are too many of us. Right? Yes.
So government medical colleges charge approximately 15 to 20,000 rupees per annum for medical.
Yes.
But I'm not taking the names of private medical. They charge 60 to 80 lakh rupees for the course duration. Do you really think the people from the backward area or the poor people can really pay this much amount of fee?
Should there be more scholarships then?
The reason why we pick only 5,000 is so that the quality of the doctors that come out are maintained. The idea of opening more quality institutions is not going to be helpful because the quality of the students coming into the institution is still going to remain the same.
But we still have a shortage of quality doctors in this country. We need many more colleges. We need many more good doctors.
There is no diversification of academics within students. It's either engineering or medicine for most of the people, which is the basic problem with Indian education.
Okay, yes.
So I believe that in India, we are obsessed with becoming doctors and engineers.
But you all want to become engineers presumably, no? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily anymore. What will you become then if you don't become engineers after doing a quality 4-year course? What do you want to become?
In India, there's a saying, after you become an engineer, you can become anything.
Exactly.
Really? In India, there is a saying, after you become an engineer, you can become anything?
It's not that you can become anything.
Okay, very interesting. That's what the young of India are saying. After you do an engineering degree, you can do anything. After you do a medical degree also, can you do anything? Not necessarily. But I want to now look at the Tamil Nadu of the present and the issue of who should lead Tamil Nadu. Because remember, ever since Jayalalitha passed away, and that's more than 9 months ago, this state has become Turmoil Nadu, not Tamil Nadu, right? Turmoil Nadu. Okay, what do you think? Do you believe, for example, Kamal Hassan, who's planning to enter politics, should enter politics, yes or no?
So there's no harm in entering politics if he has got a good idea in mind to improve the state's scenario, because it's very poor as of now. So
you're depressed with the state of politics? You don't like E. Palanisamy, O. Pannirselvam?
Sir, it was very evident as to how he was not gaining the support which Jayalalitha got. OPS, for example, and then he had to be changed to Palanisamy.
So you believe there's time for a new face?
Yeah, a completely new figure, like not a person who was blindly followed like Jayalalitha, but somebody who's actually got ideas to improve the state.
But why does Tamil Nadu only want film stars? Why do you believe film stars are the only option in Tamil Nadu? I mean, you've had so many film stars, but why is it that you're all crazy about Kamal Hassan or even Rajnikant?
So I think it isn't for an actor after 50. It's in Tamil Nadu. It seems a natural career choice to move into politics, which is extremely problematic. Because I would rather have someone who's worked on the grassroots levels to come as my leader, rather than film stars making use of the power vacuum which is present in Tamil Nadu at this point of time.
So you prefer a grassroots worker to a Rajnikant or a Kamal Hassan?
Like clearly, but the fact that
that's what you do. That's your opinion.
That's my opinion. But most of Tamil Nadu would prefer someone, a familiar face they've seen on television or like on the screens for the last 50 years.
Okay.
So the thing with Tamilians is that they take movies very seriously. And
I also take movies very seriously, but I'm not Tamilian.
With Tamilians, it's pretty different because they take it towards their heart. So whatever the actress or actors say on television or on movies, the role what they portray, that is more important for them. So I think for the past decade, politics, what we've seen in Tamil Nadu, they, give messages to them. So the people, the commoners of Tamil Nadu are ready to follow their footsteps. And that's why I think...
Would you follow? Do you think it's a good idea for a film star to enter politics?
It depends upon the person's ideology and everything.
What about the corruption in Tamil Nadu politics? Isn't there too much of corruption in Tamil Nadu politics? Do you believe film stars will be less corrupt?
Definitely not, sir, because I'll tell you why. Film stars, both Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi were from film backgrounds. And Tamil Nadu for almost 50 years did not have a choice between the governance. It was either ADMK or DMK, back and back. So, and then even though they were doing corruption and people knew it outwardly that they were doing corruption, no one could have a choice to vote for somebody else. And if it's Kamal Hassan entering now, to back it, Rajnikant might enter. And it will be Kamal Hassan or Rajnikant the next 50 years.
But they are saying that they will bring a new political culture which will not be corrupt. You don't believe them?
No, definitely not. So
why?
Because it will continue with the way it's been going.
That's very depressing. That's very depressing. Are the young saying that they don't have faith in their politician, that whoever comes will remain corrupt?
Problem is, sir, to be a journalist, you have to study a journalism course. So why not to be a finance minister, you have to do a finance course, or to be a transportation minister of India, you have to at least do civil engineering. How can a TV actor represent an entire state and its belief?
But in this country, all kinds of people have become politicians. Now you want a course for politics. But MGR was a very successful politician and he was a film star. You believe film stars don't make good politicians?
I believe that we as educated people...
You would rather have a specialist to be
participate in politics.
Yes. So a Raghuram Rajan would be a better finance minister perhaps for your generation, right? So a scientist would be the best science and technology minister. That's what you believe. That India should have more specialized people in politics. Qualified people, yes.
We can always have qualified people in politics, but that does not mean that they are good leaders as well. We had, I hate to say this, we had Dr. Manmohan Singh, who was the most qualified Prime Minister of the world. But was he a good leader? We can ask a lot of people about that, and I think not many would agree to this.
Sir, for Tamil Nadu or India to India, the first thing we should do, we should get out this Masiha culture of politics. We should treat politicians as politicians. For example, Tamil Nadu has been treating politicians like mother and father in a real sense.
Someone is Amma, right? Basically.
People treat them like real mother and father. We should be open to criticism of our leaders. Yeah. So for that, if Kamal Hassan or Rajnikant will come, this culture will carry on because people can't hear anything bad about Rajnikant or can't hear anything bad about Kamal Hassan.
Yes.
And so in India, we've generally seen there's a trend of blindly following people.
So I think in the case of Tamil Nadu in particular, I think the argument that he's a film star, so he shouldn't be a politician is wrong, because if you see the history, you see that there has been some amount of stability where dissent has been minimal, and these politicians have been able to do things for the people, right? In ways like they give free fans, free televisions, and it's always Karunanidhi or Jayalalitha who has been in power.
Okay, let me ask you all once again, Rajnikant or Kamal Hassan therefore, or none of them at all?
So I think for the longest time when we talk about Tamil Nadu, we've been ruled by film stars for the past 50 years. So if Kamal Hassan is going to be running on change, he's just a product being packaged differently, because that's the same product we've been seeing for the past 50 years. I would rather have someone like Anbumani Ramadas becoming the chief minister rather than Rajnikant and Kamal Hassan's clouding a prominent political figure.
No, but you made an interesting name like Anbumani Ramadas. Many will say Ramadas is there because he's his father's son. Stalin is there because he's his father's son. Should we have politicians, political families in this country or not?
No, not at all.
Not at all. You're saying not at all. Yes.
Political families does not, ensure that their heir will be a good politician, just like how their father or their mother was.
But many of them could be good, right? Like many are...
We can't reject Sachin Pilot. He's a very decent, very good politician. He comes from a dynasty. But we can't just reject a good politician because his father was a politician. We have a stigma that a dynastic politician...
So nothing wrong if someone comes from a family, the person has to perform and prove himself.
Because in the end, people have to choose. If he's not performing, he won't stay in politics.
Okay, let me ask you, what is the one qualification? I asked you this one last time, and I want one-line answers from you. What is the qualification that you are looking for in your political leader? The one thing that attracts you to a leader, what is it?
Who can stimulate political discourse in people, who can get them interested in what's happening.
Okay, what is the qualification?
He's a visionary who actually does work and does not talk about doing work.
Okay, yes.
That they know the problems on ground and not just like go by what public opinions or their party line is.
Okay, yes.
A leader who realizes that he's here to serve, not to rule.
Okay.
A leader who understands the problems of the common people the most.
Okay, so Kamal Hassan, yes or no? How many of you believe that Kamal Hassan should enter politics? How many of you believe Kamal Hassan should not enter politics? When we return, I'm going to ask this generation, who are their role models then? Who are the people they believe are the role models for a better India? That's after a short break. You're watching this special show from the Vellore Institute of Technology. Welcome back one last time to the Vellore Institute of Technology here in Vellore, where we are with this young audience finding out what new India really wants. And I'm going to ask you all a question. If you had a chance to spend one day with a person of your choice, who would that be and why? Yes, who would that be and why?
Vladimir Putin.
Vladimir Putin, why?
He has a strong personality, he's a strong politician.
That's why, because you are also doing weight training like him. Okay, anybody else? Come on. Yes. Who?
Donald Trump.
Why?
Person with such a dynamic personality who don't even think twice before raising his voice. Though he offended...
You'll have to start tweeting at midnight then. Okay. Okay, yes.
So he's no more, but I would want to be with Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw.
Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw, why?
My father's in the Indian Army. I really admire the army a lot. So and he's one of the very few field marshals the country has produced.
Okay, so Sam Bahadur is who you want to be with, yes?
Bill Gates.
Why?
Because Bill Gates is he's a very big inspiration for all of us. He's not only rich but also contributes a lot to the society. He's a very big philanthropist.
Okay, that's a good idea. The idea of being with a philanthropist. Yes.
I would like to be with Mahendra Singh Dhoni because of his the way he leads the team, and he's always calm.
So you like Mahendra Singh Dhoni because he's always calm. You want to know the secret of his calmness. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I'd like to be with E. Sridharan for one day because of the way he brought about the metros in this country with all the political pressure that he had.
E. Sridharan, okay, yes.
Barack Obama, to see what it's like to be the most powerful man on the earth.
With Barack Obama, okay.
With Narendra Modi, because whatever said and done, he has signed a lot of policies for India, and he's trying to get his vision, which he promised, in a reality.
Are you really supporting demonetization?
Yes.
You like that 2,000 rupee note? I don't. No. Okay, but you want to be with Narendra Modi. Okay, yes.
Mr. Shah Rukh Khan.
Shah Rukh Khan, why?
Because he's the man who, without any support, he has reached a level which everybody are looking upon.
Sir, I would like to spend some time with our Prime Minister because not because I particularly favor him, just because to see what his actual views are. There are so many polarizing views in the media that we really don't know what he is like.
Okay, yes.
I'd like to meet Arundhati Roy because she's incredibly brave in the way she calls out the government, and I love her literature, so I'd love to see the way her mind works.
Okay, we'll tell her that. Okay, yes.
I'd like to spend some time with the NSA, Ajit Doval, because from a completely unrated career, he has now become the NSA, and I don't think anybody will have a better insight to world geopolitics than him.
Okay, yes.
So Dr. Sashi Tharoor, because I've been reading The Era of Darkness, and I love how he's educating young people about our colonial past and just telling us what was wrong with the society there.
If I had a day, I'd want to spend it with Kim Jong-un to know what's going on in one of the most volatile personalities in the world.
Okay, if you have a free ticket to Pyongyang, please send it with this young man. Yes. No one wants to spend a day with Rahul Gandhi? No? Why not?
I'll spend a day with Justin Trudeau because he set the example for how to run a government, and we should probably be following that system even in our country.
Okay, so you're looking for a Justin Trudeau for India. Interesting. Maybe I will qualify for that. Okay, good. Yes.
I'll spend a day with my boys back at Siachen who are saving us from all the forces around our country. Let's give a hand for our boys back at Siachen.
Okay, let's end on that. We've had a wonderful time with you all. Thank you very much for spending this time. We've learned a lot about what young India wants and thinks, far away from the new studios here at the Vellore Institute of Technology. Once again, to all of you, thank you very much for joining me. And to you, the viewers, think about it. Who do you want to spend a day in your life with? This is Young India talking to us. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.